He's such a good boy, Benny. He's such a good boy, Benny. Been a good doggy. Good doggy. Are the pants? It's a man. Tucker, we're all hanging out this morning. I'm juiced. And what that means to me, it means different things to different people. Allow me to clarify. It means I'm animated by the universe, the sun. It's charged, Marged. Plus, I got a 4-to-2 ratio going on this morning. For regular 2 decaf. I gotta be careful about my caffeine intake. I usually don't, but occasionally I do. Coffee is like a collective thing to me. Like if I take every instance, if I take like a reel in my mind of where coffee has been significant, and if you get it just right, it'll take you to a frequency of like all the times that you've ever tasted coffee that's tasted like that. Like a good and people equate it to a good cup of coffee. Sometimes a good cup of coffee is equated to a real hard situation. Like I've been in situations where like I've been at a hospital and doctors giving me bad news. Well, you better call everybody you know because she's probably not gonna make it through the night. And I'm like, it's just you and me, God. I don't got nobody to call, man. I'm 15, Hard stuff, but damn, that cup of coffee's good. I'll remember this forever because that cup of coffee's. Is that Folgers? Oh my goodness. Uh, the world is feeling the weight of either doing the same thing and getting what they get or making hard choices and putting in effort and to make things different. Here we are, the crossroads. Gotta be careful with those crossroads, man. Huh. Anyway, so a lot of people are feeling the weight of the world. I see it. I feel with them. I feel with them. Physics are fun. Anyway, so hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. It's so funny how people just ignore feelings. Like, there's no time. I mean, I grew up in that environment. I used to be like that. I used to be so, like, if people used to. I mean, I'm pretty much. I have my pretty much my same core values of who I always been. You don't lie, don't cheat, and don't steal, and karma's very real. Things like that, like that. I'm gonna do this because the sun's starting to come up. It's gonna start getting bright. And people don't recognize that there's consequences to their actions and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think I just keep imagining the last couple of days is just like how I want to see the world. Like people that take care of people, like us support staff, just give us the means to take care of as many things as we got the energy to take care of, because other people don't. Just let us. Us that aren't real good with other human beings, because fucking don't know which script they're flipping today. Because people don't. Because they're so busy doing what they're told. For somebody else, you never know who they really are. It's getting hard, man. It's getting hard for me, Marge empath, Heyoka empath. Hard, difficult. I go out. I go out in the world when less people do. I like to go out in the morning, go to the store in the morning, while the night frickin' lurkers are just frickin' tucking themselves into their darkness for to sleep off their dirty deeds of the last evening, and then sleep it off, and then wake up and start doing it again. Get that drink, get that pill, chase that dragon, so to speak. And it's Year of the Dragon. How come nobody's talking about that? Year of the Dragon, I didn't heard not one person. See, that's the thing. I don't care if people believe what I believe. Heck, I don't want them to. I don't want them to come up with their own belief systems like I have. But I listen to a lot of astrologers, and here we are, Year of the Dragon. How many people are going to start chasing the dragon? Okay, let me explain that terminology as I understand it. I first heard this story like back in like the 70s, 80s, because I always hung around with adults, people that are older than me, you know. And I grew up around a lot of people that done drugs, a lot of drugs, stuff like that. You know, Vietnam vets, you know, they get hooked on the opiates and all this shit in the freaking fields, and then they take the stuff in the fields, and then they make it into pills, and then they give it up over here. And then we watch them on the reels, or people are like, Anyway, so people are, oh, my train of thought just derailed. So did this song. It'll come back to me. Enjoy the silence, Depeche Mode, as I have a blink in my head. That was a good show. I saw them. Fast Fashion. What was I talking about? Confounded. I was talking about coffee earlier. Oh, I could go back to that. Like other times, like what coffee reminds me of. Because people get stuck in habits like decades later based on things that happened when they were a young child. Because that's when your foundations made. People don't realize how significant the first few parts of one's years are, you know? And they like, I know a lot of people, they had kids, like all the people I went to high school with, I worked with, I ever worked, you know, they create these big cushy environments where they just like get everything. And I never understood the world to be that way. That like the more you get everything like now, like later, you're gonna realize, because there's a balance. You know, people don't get to get everything their whole entire life. It like, you know, you see it in old people at the end of their life that have gotten everything. You see it, the regret in their faces. You see the, you know, remorse, all that stuff. You see it. People don't age gracefully because they haven't lived gracefully. Because they let the demons run the show. We got too many people letting the demons run the show because someone somewhere gave them permission at some time. Just do whatever you want. Just live for yourself. I keep hearing nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to... Well, because you're not going to help anybody help them. You know what I mean? I got to calm down because I get too excited and technology starts... Blip, 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 blip. Blippity-dip, dippity-bop. That's what happens. We disrupt technology. We glitch it. Cooperation is nature's way. Yeah, people don't age gracefully. I say, I mean, it doesn't matter. They can do all the plastic surgery that they want. It's like, I look at people with plastic surgery. I'm like this. Like, am I supposed to pretend like, because I look at it like they're like I see them as mask. I see them as so many different things. Spackle. People that get shit injected in their face to give themselves fuller lips. I think people that lie have thin lips. I don't, you know? People that don't have lips, they lie, and so people know that, like at a subconscious, conscious level. And so they were like, I don't want people to think I'm a liar. So they put shit in their lips. But plastic surgery's a lie. I get let me interject a positive that I thought of recently, and I don't enough. A positive side to plus is like when people get in accidents and they need stuff reconstructed. Well, in the name of vanity, no man, the cracks of society are too wide. Way, way, way too wide. So I think it's hoggish and piggish that people would rather put the expense into, like, dude, you're never gonna look the way the doctor says you're gonna look. It doesn't happen that way. And that is like people torture themselves. It's modern. The way they shave bones for and stuff like that. Like it's freaking brutal, man. You don't believe me? Go watch Nip Tuck. That whole lifestyle of vanity, gluttony, vanity. You know. I mean, that's a lot of demons winning. Hi, baby girl. How you doing? I just want to do a talk. What, you pretty? I showed the stinky boys. You want to say hi? Oh, lady. Prettiness, laser eyes. Kissy, kissy, missy. Kissy, kissy, missy. She came from South Carolina. They're all my destiny dogs. Go, girl. I gotta plug this back in, charge the battery. Write a letter to yourself. Oh, this is according. This ain't me. This ain't mine. I'm not owning this. This is an app I use. Write a letter to write a letter to your future self and hide it under your mattress. That is from the CoStar app. It's an astrology, etc. app. What's going on in the world? Yesterday's talk, I didn't even talk about what I wanted to talk about. I do that so often. I hate naming things, and then I name them based on things I'm gonna talk about, and then oftentimes I don't know. I forget. I go off. Well, obnoxious. People used to call me obnoxious when I was a little girl. I had a lot of energy. I didn't know what to do with it. And as I came into being a young adult, when I started becoming into like who I knew, like this is what Marge. This is who you are. Either be the best who you are you can be, or get real good at pretending like you're somebody else. And the idea of acting other than who I am for the rest of my life by, like, I don't know, acting like I'm straight or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna find me a man. I'm gonna find me a man. No, I'm gonna try. And action. I'm gonna find me a man. I can't do it. I'm gonna find me a man, and he's gonna take care of me, and I'm gonna cook for him, and I'm gonna clean for him, and I'll sew up the holes in his socks. I'm gonna do all this stuff. I'll take care of the kids. I'm gonna have a bunch of kids to take care of the kids, and that's gonna be my life. I'm gonna be totally okay with that. So that's when I decided that I would just start being me. And being okay with being me. And then I started figuring out that people that didn't like me or like them or like me, that it's because they didn't like themselves. There, I just found my high school commencement. I got the most random stuff, man. It's so funny. Is this my buddy? Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on just a sec. I gotta get this. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Are
I
you
just got home.
are you freezing off your tuchus?
No, I didn't freeze my butt.
All right, good deal. Cause you're you walk, you strike pretty fast. Did you get home in record time?
Yeah.
Uh,
I I went to work like 3 this morning.
I was up pretty early myself. I thought about like coming in to see if you're up, but I don't it's not real safe that I be out at dark cuz that's when the hunters are out.
Yeah.
The weirdos, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I was like, no, I'll catch them later. I'll if you call me like you've been doing when you're
Uh-huh.
almost done
Yeah.
tomorrow, I'll
Yeah.
come grab you.
Yeah. I'll wait for you tomorrow because we're gonna take your ride home, right?
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad you're my friend.
I know. Me too. You're
You're
great help. You're
you,
great help. You know.
you're a good dude.
Hell yeah. I'm probably about the best dude there is.
And you're modest too.
I'm pretty damn honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I show people your rock that you make, the stuff you make.
Uh-huh.
And then I tell them to come visit Taos and come buy your stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
On
That's
that on
that's
that piece, I was gonna tell you, you always help me, Margie, and you always buy me stuff. And I was gonna tell you, just go ahead and keep that piece and just buy me stuff, every now and then.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
That way you can save your money too,
You're a good friend.
Cause I only need stuff like, for the week and.
Yeah, you just need stuff like peanut butter and jelly and bread. I'll keep you in stuff, and then you keep me in gifts, and then I send to other people, and we get your rocks all over the world together.
Yeah.
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 That cooperation is nature's way. You support me, and I support you. Yay. A-ho.
Yeah.
A-ho, right?
Yeah, I mean, it works out because, we're helping each other, me and you. I mean.
Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. All right, buddy. Well then, call me in the morning. Did Michelle come to work?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's better. Okay, so hopefully I'll see her tomorrow.
Yeah, you will.
Okay. Okay. All right, buddy. I'll talk soon.
Okay, well, you keep in touch then.
I will. Have a rad day. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's my friend. I have one friend in this town. That was him. Come on, Butta. Come on. Come here. goodness. You're the goodness. You're the goodness. My goodness. My goodness. Have you ever had a powerless landlord that just feels so out of control in their life that they like to come into your world and micromanage? I got one of them. So this is my solution. This is how I'm going to remedy that. Put your coat away. Oh, girl. I'm gonna freaking clean the freaking. I'm gonna get shelves. I'm gonna put everything in a place. And so when she comes in for her inspection at the end of this month, I'm gonna be ready. It's gonna be so uptight. I'm gonna make her feel like a freaking, like she needs to go home and clean her house. That's what I'm gonna do. Good girl, Luna. I love you, baby. You're the best girl in the world for me. My Southern Belle, she's from South Carolina. She came all the way from South Carolina all the way up to Omaha, Nebraska to be with me and then go back out to Oregon. Down to Arizona. Over to New Mexico, only to find that we end up about 10 miles from where my mom was probably born and she was adopted when she's a young girl. It's a crazy world we live in, ain't it? A lot of people don't know that because they're too busy, you know. That's what sports are to me. Doesn't matter what the sport is, it's people going like this, sitting someplace in a chair, doing this, when they should be putting their hands together to do something useful. Oh, why would the world want anybody? Why would the world want things the way I want them? It takes effort. Now there's a lot. I see so much good stuff coming up. Like once the purge of this nasty freaking patriarchal nonsense stuff gets flushed, what things are going to be, because what I see in my reels and my algorithm, they're good things. They're very good things. They're things like young people allowed to work in shops, like this kid Tommy. He's 10 years old. Man, if I could have been allowed, but I was always suppressed. No, you can't do that. You're just a girl. I hated that. I hated being a girl. I wanted to be a little boy so I would be allowed the advantages that little boys got to do. And so I just started taking shit apart at home, like wherever I could and I figured out stuff on my own and I got electrocuted and I don't like it. You know, and then I ended up in the Air Force and I got an associate's degree in aerospace ground equipment technology. It's like it's technology. It's fucking buckets of bolts that we're trying to keep together while they keep putting $billion buildings on the campus. So it looks good. So it's like, hey, look at what we're doing. Look how important we are. We got statues, and then we gotta make ourselves patches because it's all freaking theatrics, folks. I'm here to tell ya, we are the threat to the rest of the world. I mean, how many times how many times did freaking people die and they're just hanging out chilling? Here comes the U.S. bombs with USA on them, stamp, made in USA, you know, and then you got planes that have, like, they used to keep track of all the people that they killed on, like, trophies, like, yay me, you know, it's like, dude, you know how we need to be defending this land? by making sure that the kids are okay. All kids are okay, because then they're going to learn how to be okay when they're kids. And then they can grow up to be adults that can soothe themselves and calm themselves down in those scary nights when they wake up and the demons are rattling their cage. And they have the spiritual tools and the guidance, you know. In the name of Jesus Christ, I rebuke you, Satan. And they're given the tools to protect themselves, and they can walk through life with the confidence, regardless of, you know, whatever comes their way, instead of what this population that has been created by all of the generations to coddle and protect, and people don't know how to do things anymore. Regular basic things that they should know how to do. Basic oil change, you know, stuff like that. And I see it more in my reels, you know. And Tommy, man, that kid is a freaking, he, you know, and he comes from a shitty place. And that's what a lot of us that come from shitty places, we're good at stuff because we got to get out of the shit. We got to get out of the noise. We got to get out of the bad place. And so we immerse ourselves in things like, I wonder how this works, or this. That's what I did when I was a little girl. I wonder how this works. And if I take this apart, will it do? I got it like a 96 in the maintenance part of my ASVAB in high school. I barely graduated high school because I'm like, this stuff is stupid. None of this stuff matters. Like, we've been babysat for 18 years. And as long as you put on the paper what they tell you to put on the paper. I mean, and I was like tested in junior high. They said I was autistic. It didn't matter. I just always went in like the what they call a retard class. I mean, and if you thought that like regular and, you know, I'm not so neurotypical, so I just learned how to use my energy and try not to get in trouble, and I got in a lot of trouble. I stopped getting in trouble because I started becoming like you. There's the game. You got to play the game. And the older I get, the more I got to realize to keep the peace, I got to play the game. And I hate games. That's the thing. I hate games. I like fun games. I like competitive games. Like, you know, who can take care of their loved ones the longest. I like those kind of games. I'm not interested in. I'm looking for people with longevity that can stick at things, even if they're unpleasant, just because they're, you know, good for everybody. You know? Not just sacrificing the rest of the world to do what they want, but sometimes they sacrifice the things that they want to do for the rest of the world. I'm looking for those balanced type people. Where are they at? I know they're out there. I know I'm not the only one on the planet. I know there's people. I think it's funny how I end up, because I'm so obscure on the tubes. If I end up in somebody's recommended, it's a divine thing. I am a teacher. I am a student. I am both of those things. So, support staff. I've been envisioning a world where people are just allowed to take care of critters, you know, like me, that just don't like other people. Oh, you know, we're good at taking care of things, and we're good at cleaning up after things and maintaining things, you know. You got people that have farms that they're allowed to do it, you know, but you got this poor kid over here, he's got a knack with it in a way, but he don't got the same means and the same opportunity. Give it to him. Let that, you know, let support people that want to support the environment in their local communities. I never were. I've been over there. I mean, I know what they're doing with they want to empty out their freaking little arse. They want to use their new killing machines. All the ones that Northrop and Raytheon and I was in the Air Force. There's new ones. There's new ones all over them. See, I think that there's just big ones, but the business of death has been privatized, you know. I mean, anybody can just make jet plane and then sell them to the government to, you know, kill people in places we have no business in. And a dude that I was in the Air Force with, he's unfriended me. I mean, yeah. Here he goes. But he's a bro. And I freaking am anti-bro, so he's anti-Mar. You know, instead of being less like the D-bags of what I talk about, he's just like, well, fuck her, I'm a D-bag. You know, and he's from, you know, just like so many of the other bros. He's from Illinois, you know. And JT4 LLC provides engineering and technical support to multiple Western test ranges for the U.S. Air Force. That's what the company is, and it's in Vegas, so they can do all the Vegas things. It's a fucking. It's like it's a 50th anniversary of the F-16. And you get these people that have never had any support in their life when they were young, and so then it's like, be a part of something that's bigger than you, and then it's like, whoa, let's go kill things, but they don't get it's a sin. Murder is a sin. Thou shalt not kill. Yet it's so profitable. I bet he's probably gonna go that big old ritual, you know, where the teams are going, you know, the big old how much money is wasted. Advertisement alone, just for that, it's all that every time I look at stuff like this, I see like how like the demons winning because the cracks of society. I get these visuals like, you know how $1,500 can change somebody's life. And it's like people don't care about that person, but all this. They don't give a shit about the old lady who can't pay to take her little critter to the vet. Her only love thing in the world, you know, thing that she loves that loves her back in the world. And she can't afford to make it better or whatever, you know, can't afford the medicine. And then all of that. See, all of this regular people shit happens. And all of those people don't care. Some of them, they'll give their money for the false for profits, non-profits, you know, all these people that are supposed to divvy it out to the people, you know, to support the support staff. But what you could tell when they're fakes with all the what they do with the money first, and what people on the street get a swag bag. You know, they're driving their little EVs with their little logos on it, with their letterhead, and they have their Friday power lunches and conferences and conferences are tax right. They're vacations to the club, the people that, you know, get the most. Salespeople. It's not. I mean, I was in IT for so long, and IT don't get to go to the conference. No, it's all the people, the money makers, the people that produce. You know, not the people that support. I never got bonus. I never got a lot of I got the like scraps of everything, and as being as part of the support staff, in which I was, in so many capacities. I was always mission essential, so it didn't matter what going to work 5:00 in the morning to go reset a freaking server. Ridiculous things like that. And so I see society now, and I see all the things that people can't do, don't do. And I'm like, man, we're in trouble. Because the people that can are few and far between. And then I see this young generation that is coming up, and they like doing stuff like I did when I was a little kid. I'm like, okay, all right. Now how do I get through to them where I can start teaching them about work ethics and integrity and keeping your work center clean, and, you know, all the disciplines and practices that I learned that I wish I would have known when I was a kid, that would have saved me a lot of busted knuckles and stuff like that. You know, work with mind, body, spirit, and the body part. That's the work life balance part that people got to get. People play too much. People play way too much. Hi, Busted Muffin. That's a funny name to me. That's a funny name to me. So, Mom's still sleeping. I don't have to go anywhere today, and I'm happy about that. Tomorrow, I'll go get the Suburban, and then they're gonna give me a list of all the things that need, which is fine because that's what I wanted to have done anyway. I wanted to have, you know, let them go over it. And then I'm going to go see, when I was in the Air Force, I was a mechanic, okay? And we had 23 different pieces of non-powered and powered equipment that we had periodic and non-periodic inspect, yeah, like we had like regular service, like we had to put our hands on every piece of equipment. I think there was like five, I can't even remember the number. I used to know these names, but this was back in 2000 in the early 2000s, so it's been replaced by shit that matters. The data. Uh, anyway, if we had to fix everything. And then when shit happened with Operation Iraqi bullcrap and the controlled demolition that was enhanced by our own administration on the 11th, on baby Jesus's real birthday, you know, it's all ritual and got cokeheads playing freaking games. It's crazy how we just have parades for it. It's bizarre to me. But so I learned how to do a lot of stuff mechanically. And I was a 5 level. I only did a 6-year enlistment just so I could get that stupid piece of paper on the wall over there. So society would say, hey, she's got a piece of paper on the wall. She sat through a whole lot of bullshit to get a lot of that piece of paper, you know? Up and down. I hate school. School's freaking stupid. Trying to determine what every teacher wants and then giving them that, and then I still get bad grades because they don't like me because I didn't have the right expressions on my face. I don't understand society. It hurts my brain. So the maintenance practice, and I was the TODO, like I had to take care. I was like the I was the safety police, like, you know, I'd have to clean up after yourself, spill hazard, you know, stuff like that, because people are freaking dirty pigs. They are even by themselves. They got to be told, you know, don't do dumb shit, in case you couldn't tell all over social media all the time. And so I like to see a lot of the maintenance stuff, you know. I like to see it. I like to see young people fixing shit because, you know, they got to take the places of the old people that and all the people in the middle that don't know how to do shit. You know? I want to have a shop where people, I just don't want to have a warehouse on my private lawn, on my private, you know, and then people can come and then like perform. They have them on Air Force bases. They probably have them less. I think they got rid of it off at Air Force Base when I was in. But they can bring that. They can stop killing people over there less and do this shit in local communities more. Put the money into letting people like me, you know, represent, you know, the community and let the have, because if you don't want to have auto shop in your schools, then they can come over here and learn how. And I love seeing it because that's what comes up on my reels. Dudes freaking teaching, you know, standing out there explaining to young men, you know, and yeah, explaining to young men how to do oil changes, you know. I want to see more of that. I love seeing it. And then there is a shop here in town that does it. It's like free labor, you know, stuff like that. I just want people to come here because they want to learn how to do it, you know, on their own stuff. And then I want to see driving schools where if they're going to drive like that, give them a place and an environment in which to do, instead of doing it on the streets and the main roads and all the drag racing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You can't control people and what their desire, like stuff, as far as that stuff concerned. You know, we there's just too many deaths just because young kids are out there freaking give them a track, let them do it there, and pray for them and teach them, you know. Too much gas to put you in the wall, and that goes in everyday life too. That should go, like when you're talking to someone that you care about. Too much gas can put you into the wall. If you say it with your mouth, there's things that you can never understand, you can never unsay, and people don't realize that words break. Teach young people that, things like that. Because people just are like so disheveled. They're just going around popping, and then it's just like, here we go. Here's the freaking, now they're gonna, now if they're allowed, they're just going to be allowed to abuse. Now there's more abusers on the planet because their behavior isn't curtailed. They're not sat down and explain the importance of not causing harm to others. Nobody sits down and explains the consequences and disciplines of causing harm to others because they're so busy living in their ego, going around living however they want. And gluttony without discipline. Discipline ain't fun. It's not fun to be disciplined. As you can see, look around the world. We're living in Wall-E. It's gross, man, what people have allowed themselves to become with the free will that we're giving. I mean, we're given free will, and look what people use it to not do. Look how they use their free will to just my free will, I'm gonna be a blob. I'm gonna sit on my couch, I'm gonna watch TV. That is what people choose to do with their vibration, with their lives. We are here for such a short time in all eternity. And people have collectively gotten us to the point where we're on a rock, and then people on the rock are like, we need to kill the people over here on this rock because they think like that. It's been like that for all the time. I know a lot of other people believe that is stupid. And then if you go against them, then they will go up after you with their big gun. Oh, where you don't agree with us, so you are part of our enemy. And these guys are nuts, man. Wet brain, just brrr. Never been told no. Yes, men. Never been told no their whole entire life. And when I was in the Air Force, I would talk to dudes that were above, because I don't care about rank. These dudes are you guys do play this little game because you don't have nothing else to do. I mean, none of you are all that smart. I don't care. I'm going to play this chess game in real life in the world, and I'm going to give myself parades because this is what men do. I mean, and we all fell for it. So stupid, man. Thou shalt not kill, but it's okay if you can kill him over there. It's dumb. It's like the whole thing is like a big old, we've been gaslit by Uncle Sam. It's all psycho. And we're just doing it because we're told. My daddy was in the military. Your daddy was a dick, and he sat around a lot and drank too much. Don't tell me about your pride in that. Is that what you're proud of? You hate your dad. You complain to your significant other how much you hate your daddy because he drank too much and beat you and did all this and that. But if you want to bring freaking, imposed pride of country and nationality and all that stuff into it, people don't think that's nonsensical? More people profit from death, so they allow it. And then money ain't even real, but then they make up that system to perpetuate a goofy ideology of economics, while people who have regular skills and ability, are getting paid like $12 an hour. The support staff that are making sustaining society, keeping it functioning, they're getting shit on. That's an imbalance. So it pays more to kill people than it does to support people to live. And that's the planet in which we live. I'm the only person I know that comes out and talks shit about this, and people and I post my freaking YouTube videos all on my Facebook feed, and my friends don't. I don't have friends. I have people that watch me and see what I'm gonna do next. I don't have people going, you know what, Marge? I saw your video, great video today, and I agree with you. I don't have people that say that. I don't have support staff. That's why I'm so adamant about supporting others that can't support themselves, because there's been so many times in my life that I'm like, man, if I just had this one person to help me do this one thing, that would be rad. So I recognize the deficits in other people's lives. And sometimes I'll try and fill it for them just to alleviate that just to lighten the load for them. When I was in basic training, it was Warrior Week. That's this 5-6 days that you camp, right? You got to go for like this 5-6 mile hike with your bag full of stuff, and it was 2000. It was during an ice storm in Texas, and it was my first ice storm, and it was a trip, and I was short, so I was always at the very back of everything. I was always the last to everything, and my whole life I've been last because I'm short. And so, but that gives me a time to spectate, to watch everything in front of me play out, so that's all right. But the girl in front of me, we had our combat boots on, our black boots on, and she was having a hard time breaking hers in, and she had blisters at the beginning of the 5 mile, like it was wearing, so I had my bag, and she was in front of me because she was short too, but I was shorter than her, and I always been pretty strong, and so I grabbed her bag from the bottom and the handle that's on the side. And I just walked real close, and I carried 2 bags to take off the weight. And then when we got there, it's like, dude, she's got blisters. Like, she ended up having to go to the hospital. She had blisters on her feet that were extended out, and it was all filled with, as soon as she took off her boot, it's like the fluid just she ended up on an IV in the hospital for 6-7 days. I think they put her on admin forever or something like that. She's kind of smothering. She looked like a frog to me. That was funny. She had really curly hair. But anyway, support staff. Sometimes people just need people to take. But you got people that have been taken care of their whole entire life. They have no idea that there's that the other world exists. When people have no idea, when people don't have empathy, the psychopaths, the sociopaths, the narcissists, they're the NPCs. The people that like to cause harm, the people just to cause disruption. I'm contrarian. I like to get people to think in a different perspective. I ain't here to freaking, I'm a peaceful being. I come in peace. Because I've lived through war. And people that have been, people that have slept in little quiet environments and had their little asses freaking powdered and, ever from their little baby, you were always safe and protected your whole life, it's they want to see the darkness. It's they're drawn to that dark, it's a lot of them. And yes, man, people that are told yes their whole entire life. I remember having a conversation with Sergeant Peterson. I said, military, they're nuts. I said, the stuff that they have us do is just, it's like that show Trading Places back in the, just making puppet dance. That's what the military is. And I heard it my whole entire life, and I did, I heard the small glimpses in the crowd, and I listened to them, and I'm like, what is it they talking about? And now I understand what they're talking about. But more people, profit from sitting around. The readiness of this nation this country is not ready for any kind of military. I mean, they've been playing dress up for the last 20 years. And like dudes that are dressing up in chicks like stuff like that. I mean, I mean it's doesn't that let you know that like the pageantry of it? I mean, they're dressing up in costumes, and I mean, well, I did a lot of I've done a lot of online research when I had more time on my hands, and they were putting like the military. You know, people on the living in this country don't have roofs over their heads, don't have basic needs. They're just like struggling every like, you know, one day at a time. People are really learning one day at a time right now, and they're really coming into a faith that they ain't never had before. While the money is siphoned for bros to freaking blow shit up. Are people wars are like Viagra for tiny little men. And then they go over and then they feel bad for the things they done, and then they never talk about it because they feel like shit. And then like the wives and the kids are like, man, he lived through hell. And it's just like he put through people through hell. He was the hell. And then people gotta, you know, at the end of their lives, oh my God, I can't believe what I did for a paycheck instead of standing up and talking out. That's why I'm like, dude, I ain't gonna, I'm always gonna, the military industrial complex, blah. There's the industry of military because these dudes have complexes, inferiority complexes. Oh, you think the sword fights stop in the freaking high school for these dudes? I learned about gay while away. Oh, we all been duped. They play. Let's blow this stuff up. Let's make this thing and boom, make it go boom. We'll test it out in the desert, make it go boom. The people that want things to go boom, they are psychologically impaired. And then tell us, oh, it's in the name of freedom? That is stupid. That's dumb. Let's have a parade for freedom? Dumb. That's pride. Full. Gross. Anyway. Hi, Miss J. Atlantic City. I ain't never been to Atlantic City. I've been to when I came back from Operation Iraqi bullshit. We came back through Virginia Beach. I found these planes. Here the plane. This is what war is about. This is Operation. So these guys can fly around in these helicopters and go, yeah, I'm a man. I'm a man. Look at me. I'm a man. Picking on people that don't deserve jack shit, man. But I got a nice paid vacation to the island of Crete. It's paid vacations, brah. It's paid vacations. We're the rest of my freaking brothers and sisters in arms to defend this land, domestic, and there's Flightline. As a flight line. See, I've been recording history, my whole history. The last 50 years, I got a pretty good. Having a good. Look, people are dying in freaking Operation Iraqi, but we're just they're chilling. I got to see Tartaria stuff, where the buildings on the way to work. Then I got paid extra every day. This is just point and shoot cameras. This is from the hotel room. Island of Crete. Funny thing about being energetic sensitive and highly in tuned is to think about all the history that I absorbed. Just the frequency of the stories that have transpired on Crete. Though, you know what I did with my per diem? I made like $2,000 for 39 days. And this is in 2000. That was a lot of money for me. I paid for a rental car so my mom could drive my dog that she had had for 2 years out to live with me. That's what I did with my blood money. Here's some bros hanging out. Hey, that's the dude that freaking right there. That Jack. That's the bro that works at the death company now. Still, what a stupid haircut. Oh, look at this, bros. Yeah. Per diem. Paid vacations. Don't feel so bad for your dads that feel bad about shit, because a lot of them, they kept agreeing to do it over and over. They were having the Communist Party out protesting. That's what that was. Here's my Tartaria shit. All that history. Into my open and receptive. But what do I know about what? You know? I listen to all these people, they're astrologers, and they're just people with their YouTube channels, you know, and they're giving me their perceptions on how they understand and perceive the universe, you know, and they're so adamant, like, this is how the world is. And be based on their perception. I'm like, that's how you see the world. The world is so much different. Hi, sweetie, you okay? Can you go to the bathroom? You okay? Okay. Yeah. That's Benny. Was that too loud? I got excited. I get excited. We're just gonna keep running in my mouth. You're sweet, Mom. Come on in here. You're hot. We gotta wash your hair, sweet lady. We put it on for too long. Yeah, we know. I know. You don't like it, but you're always glad that when it's done. You know it? I don't gotta go nowhere. I got to talk to Augustine this morning. He's gonna go with me tomorrow. We're gonna go get the Suburban. My car. The big truck. I call it my apocalypse wagon. Because we're at the end of the world. You want to listen to me just keep talking? Run in my mouth. Blabbing. Wow, you really had to go, huh? Need lotion? We need to lube up the old lady? You need lotion and stuff like that yet? Leave it in the toilet, okay? You want to go back and lie down? Or do you want to stay up? It's up to you. You're bossy. It's only like 8:30. Do you want to get up or do you want to go lay down? You want to go lay down? Your sweater? Your Sarah get sassy? So you want to go lay down or do you want to stay up? You want to sit up? Okay, go over here. There's Luna right there. She's probably going to go back and lay down now. Artie's over there. Tucker's up there. And Benny's in the chair. Let me get you some hydration station. Let me fill up your hydration station. You know what else the war games are about, so to speak? The death. Go ahead, drink it. I'm doing a talk right now, Ma. I'm talking to the world. It's so the people in the local area can sell stupid stuff. It is. It's so like I got awards and stuff when I was in, and then so it's like every time I got an award, I had to go up and let the picture man take my picture. Right? So a lot of it is to, I think it's this one. I was in my blues. I was in my BDUs. Like, they're like, just come in and take your, I'm like, man, everything about the military is fake. That was basic training. I'm just like, get through this. Get through this. This is a game. I mean, I know how to. I should have an Academy Award for freaking how to, as a nacho neurotypical, how to navigate through bullshit and play games. Really. My brother, Army Jack, he made a lot of money from being in Iraq for a year. I had his dog while he was there, his dog Hobo. He made a lot of money. And you know why Jags are like there? It's not because of like, war. Like, it's because people over there do stupid stuff. They leave the country and then they cheat on their wives and stuff like that. They do, and because that cheating on your wives is punishable by the UCMJ. And here's some more Crete pictures. It was a cool place. I mean, I'm glad I got to go, because I got to picture being there, like, 1,000, 2,000 years ago, what it would be like. I mean, I was just got to really be in my imagination while the bros hung out and drank beer, And a lot of these dudes cheated on their wives. A lot of these dudes cheated on their wives, and it wasn't with other chicks either. That's another thing people don't get. I was very naive, man. I didn't want to learn about the world. The world presented itself to me in a manner which has been, that has verified itself to be gross because the people on it have made these decisions time and time again to do gluttonous, gross, willful things. That's this Operation Iraqi bullshit. That's why I call it that, because people that's the Sun, the hotel that the locals make a lot of money because they fill them up with military people, and then we fly off and then go over there and boom, drop our bombs. A lot of this stuff is done with drones now. Here's the hotel that I stayed in, the Panorama. That's my feet. My hotel room was right there. They just finished the infinity pool when I was there. And it was so surreal. This was my experience with the Truman Show because I really felt like I was in a tank. Like it was a stage. Like it was a set for the movies. It was trippy because it was so... I'm like, I'm in a war right now, but it's like I'm on paid vacation at the same... I don't understand. Like people over there are doing terrible things. And then I got really upset when I came back to... And then they started putting... See, I'm a rule... You don't do nasty, dirty stuff. That's my view from my balcony. That's that, yeah. You can't be creepy around me because I'm going to be called creep. And that's what I do is like... And when I was... I was so grossed out when they were passing around the videos of the B-1 bomber that blew... They were playing target practice on civilians. And then they were laughing and like, yeah, Bro club out! Bro club! They're all bro! Like, you're gonna tell the story? This is when I took off. That's like... I think that's Italy. Coming into Italy. We flew into Naples. We're only there for like an hour and a half. See, in my mind when I was growing up, like the Mediterranean Sea was this huge, large, gigantic place in my mind. And then when I went there, it was like a bathtub. The Mediterranean, yeah. I didn't realize I was only like 50 miles from like mainland, and it's like I was so close. But Crete has, like, I guess on the planet, it has the greatest, in the smallest area, has the largest elevation to sea level. That's a pretty broad spectrum. There was just a land site in Hanya. That's where, I walked around. Took pictures because I look like a tourist. I could fit in with the tourists. One night we went out. I went out with a bunch of military dudes, and they went drinking, and I was the designated driver, and we got called out by the police, and there was a curfew, and we had to get out. We had like 10 minutes to pack up our shit and get back to our hotels. Cause don't you know who they are? Better listen to what they say. Of course, I got pictures of the local doggies. Anyway, I'm just taking up YouTube's bandwidth at this point. That's what war's really about, and people are gearing up, you know? And I look around society and I see these kids. I'm like, man, these kids are not ready. They're not ready. They signed up like I did to go to college or whatever, you know, but it's not, they turn it into stuff that it doesn't need to be. Like we could be doing humanitarian efforts all over the place instead of sitting on, like, you know, submarines and little ships and little, you know, like, you know. But no, we just sit there. And then they absorbing money that could be used here to making people in America's lives better. But the people that are divvying out the money go around and say, no, poor people aren't worth it. People aren't worth it. It's like these people, a lot of people that are turning out to live on the streets, they're not even poor. They have some kind of income, but still not enough to be single and live the way that they want to live. So a lot of people just kind of succumb and become comfortable and adapt to the means in which they're, you know, they have. While so many people are fucking flying around from San Francisco to San Jose in an airplane, it's like an hour and a half, but they don't want to sit in a car because they're too important. Isn't that crazy, Ma? While Oakland is like, I mean, America is, we have reached third world country status. Denny's closed up shop. And I mean, all these companies have left. I'll show Mom reels. I said, Mom, this is what's going on in the world. Good, bad, ugly, and different. You know, these are the things that are happening, all because human beings have thumbs and free will. We have free will, and this is what it's collectively. And I blame myself every day. Like, Marge, what could I do better to contribute to making the world a better place? You know what I do? I hand out my cookies. That's what I do. I give people in my local community, and I also, in conjunction, offer any and all services that I can provide. From IT to, you know, I'm not good at maintenance anymore. I don't got the body for it. I can diagnose it for you. I'm good at that. I was saying, when I was in the Air Force, I was only a 5 level. The 7 levels would yell at me to stay away from their shit after they signed off the inspection, because I'd always find shit after they signed it off saying there are no flaws on this piece of equipment. I would always find flaws after them. And they'd say, get away from it, Marge! I'm like, what's the matter? You're not confident in your own work? Who's the 7 level? Who's the 9 level? Who's the 9 level? I became a 7 level. And then I don't want to play the game. I like fun, competitive games, like, I don't know, coming up with in good ways to make things better for other people. If I could just have a space where I could invent things, I'd be like Dick Van Dyke and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and I would just go out in the community, you know, and I'd see where there is a need, and I'd go home, and then I would do something to make something. See, you know, I do things for fun and for free, because people don't pay me. That's why. Because to fill the need for something is more important to me than establishing, like, well, I'll fill the need, but first you have to pay me. And it also shows people all the shit that they could be doing for free and they don't. So I'm like, and then people get mad at me because it makes them look bad because they're stingy. I have an Earth Angel, and she tells me a lot about how people are, and that I don't, from a perception that I don't get. And she explained to me that people get jealous of people and they hate people because they're jealous of them. I don't like people because they're selfish. But there's a lot of people in this world that hate people because of who they are. And I don't think like that, so I have a hard time comprehending that. And now I look at it. Now I'm like, that's why people hinder and not help, because they're jealous. They feel bad about their own situation in life, so they want to make it hard for other people. And these are the people that need to get up out of their fucking chairs and go on up the frickin' river. Get your little frickin' harmonica, woo, or your little violin, play your little woeful tune. Let somebody else sit down in that chair that is actually like, you know what? I want to help people in my own community thrive. Be damn the beast. Be damn the beast. But people serve the beast in places over there. They're always worried about, what, rule that somebody said over there. Have you ever met these person? You get an email from something. It could be like a little troll in a freaking basement going, watch the puppet dance. Hama. Right? People just do whatever they're told right off the edge of cliffs. Was that Pan? I gave Pan a ride once. I was driving out. I could have gotten in trouble for shit from that because you're not supposed to like pick up hitchhikers. You're not supposed to go to strip. The night before I left Sacramento, I got 86th off a strip club at a strip joint because I got up. I didn't touch the girl. I know you don't touch the girl. I'm a girl. I don't want other girls touch it. I don't want people touch. I didn't touch him, but I was just like, I could do that. I could dance. So I got up there. And they're like, you. Anyway, then the next morning I had to wake up and start driving to Omaha to off at Air Force Base for my first duty session. And it's a long drive. It's a long drive. And so this dude, it was like Utah. It was like right at the border. And he had a little dog, and it was like 10 o'clock. It was later than that. No, that was the first day. I'm on day 2. So it was like it was like 10 o'clock in the morning, but the sun was starting to get up. And I knew this kid, like, he needed a ride. Like, it was going to start getting hot. It was July, I was worried about the dog. And this guy wasn't a threat. He wasn't any harm, so I picked him up. And the night before, some chick in a VW bus picked him up, and they did lines and were up all night. I said, well, I guarantee you ain't going to have that same experience with me right here, right now. And so we got on and like, we stopped at Grand Island. Is that right in the middle of Nebraska there? I got a hotel room. He took a shower. Dude left a fucking residue at the bottom of the pool. Dark black ring. Like, dude, he should have cleaned it out. Like, I was like, maybe they're going to keep my deposit. Like, it was gross. But who knows how long it had been since this kid had been clean, And that's what his chosen name. He was Pan. And he was in it. I mean, for some reason, he felt like he identified with Pan, and that was his nickname. I had his email, gave me his email, had that for a while. And I just dropped him off right at the gas station right across the street from the Omaha Zoo. And he went on his way back east. He was coming from Humboldt. Going back east where he was from, I've been aware and around travelers my whole entire life. I just think that the whole world should be able to, make it easier for everybody instead of just like, I guess that's how they keep the numbers down of visitors, by only making it accessible for those that can afford passage. It's so stupid. I hate hierarchy shit, man. I hate it. It's in my chart. What is it that makes me not like the hierarchy stuff, Ma? I don't think I'm gonna read that one. I get screenshots of stuff that happens. Hi, Benny. You good dog, Benno. So Margie Benny's in the mood. Grandma's up. She's back there. Ma, say hi, Benny. Benny. He's in your chair. Where this? Okay. So, you know how people have like secrets, or not secrets, but like stuff in their family? Like some people come from tragedy and some people don't. I come from my lineage, like even mom's adopted family, the dude that adopted her. I found this article the other day that was his dad. And this was back in frickin' it's so funny, October 22nd, which carries a different significance. He was 51 years old in a car accident coming back from a cow auction with a woman and her kid. They got in an accident. Come on, Benny. Good boy. Come on. And the kid got decapitated. That's crazy, right? And then on my dad's side, his dad used to drink when he was young and treat his kid, which was my dad, like shit. But my dad was the youngest, so he got the least of the brunt. My grandpa was already sober at that time. But my uncle, and like he got the worst of it, and became this, See, either you became more of the abuser or you became part of the healer. And, abusers abuse, healers heal. And so, he, oh, my train of thought just derailed. But my grandpa was he drank because he was sad. He watched his father when he was 17 years old die in an accident, in an oil rig accident. And I was like, I wonder what, because man, that's what my dad used to do. He used to work in the oil rigs, I think my dad always had a death wish, or he always tempted fate. Come on, Benny, good boy, go see Grandma Retta. But you want to hit? Look, he's gonna hit that hydration station himself. That is absolutely true. Finding God is the best reward money can buy. Good orderly direction, How many people are like stand around and watch people? I've seen so many. Because I've fallen down a lot. I've fallen down, and it's so fun. I like calling people out on stuff. Like, I'll work in office environments, and I sneezed. I'd sneeze. I don't get a lot of bless yous. You know what I started saying? That's okay, I'm already blessed. Nobody'd say nothing? No, it's cool, man, I'm already blessed. Nobody gotta bless me. I don't need your blessings, I got my own. Right? But I'm quick to give the blessings out, though. I'm quick to give them out, because everybody deserves blessings. Everybody does. But people that feel bad, they want to stifle any goodness, and they don't get the only way to feel the goodness is to give it away. To feel good, give goodness to other people. Help them feel good. It makes you feel good. You got all these people go around, I feel bad. Somebody has to come in and make me feel better. Do something for someone else, and you will feel better. Screen time notification? What the frick? There must have been an update, because I'm getting notifications I don't give a crap about. So yeah, people doesn't crazy shit like that happen, and everybody's like, I mean, our lives have just been crazy from the get-go, Ma. Right? Like, I go out, I remember being in fancy dinners, work dinners and stuff like that, and people would tell stories. And I just start telling stories. I've been getting slow blinks my whole life, because this is who I am. I'm not going to hide who I am. And these are the places I've been, and this is the data I've collected. So it's really amusing to me when I listen to other people. And I respect what they. I don't want people to get me wrong. I respect everybody's opinion. Where even if I don't agree with it, it's like, hey, if it's their own take on things. But I love listening to like that Gigi chick. She's a pretty lady too. I bet she's got fancy shoes. I bet she has a nice shoe collection. But it's like the shit that people freaking give themselves because they deserve it over helping somebody do something else. Like what I plan on doing, I'm almost getting I love you, Luna. See you later. She's like, you're loud. Bye. I'm almost getting the Suburban to a place where like all for when you drive around, if you can, and help pull people out of the snow, even if they can't give you $100 for it, right? You become capable of doing things, and then you use your capabilities to go out and help other people. And people don't get that because people are so caught up in money. Huh? Ma. Tornado, Miami, Florida. That's weird. Yeah. Want to see what's going on in the world, Ma? You want to sit up here in your chair? Or you want to sit back there with Benny? Sit back there with Benny. It's always Benny. There's a lot of stuff popping off in the world. Because people are all, and then they create chaos, People don't do real good with peace. It took me so long to be okay to be at a peaceful place because I had to figure out that the chaos that I, lived through, that I had to leave it and learn how to live a peaceful existence. See, I don't know what's going on in the world, but the app isn't even coming up. I get this a lot. The black screens, I get that a lot. What's going on in the world? What do you think's going on, Ma? Anything good? You feel the shift of the ages? I think it's funny because my job in the Air Force was an age ranger, and now we're coming into a new age. I'm here to help ranger in the new age, folks. Here I am at your service, ushering in the new age. Pick up a shovel, do something useful. Don't sit around, think about nothing, especially yourself, too much. Huh. Is this really happening, or is this like an old... Okay, California braces for a powerful storm. Haven't they been saying that for like 8 days? I should have... I'll take a screenshot of a story and then see how long they dredge it out. Like it's the same story. And it's like, didn't this happen 8 days ago and the storm passed and we got the leftovers of it? But they keep putting it out there? Is that how weather is actually really created? Because people see it and they're like, oh my God, storm! Poof, storm! And here comes the storm because people see it on their screen. There it is. What if that's how things really were? Wouldn't that be a trip? Peace is bad for business. Fuck business. Business is bad for peace. I don't give a fuck. You know who wants war? Freaking creepy perverts who like putting shit in their butts. Those are the real life warmongers. Hey Jay. Happy end of the week, beginning of the next to you, fella. Hi, Miss J. Peace is bad for business. Warmongers. There's this guy who I think he's an army guy, and he's on deployment, and he sits there on a live, and he's all, and I think he's 41, 42. And he's fit, he's tight, but he got a woman at home and she takes care of everything. He don't gotta take care of nothing except all the shit that he wants to do, all that, like he's got his, and he goes through and he's like, get out of here with that shit, and he he deletes people. It's just like, bro, wake up, bro. You are a puppet, bro. You stand in front of all these people and you talk about being a man and what it is to be a man. And there's nothing manly about this shit that you're doing. And for a direct deposit. So you could, I bet he's got a big old stupid truck, and, you know, he's got property in the big old house, and, you know, his children are obedient. And, you know, and he is so many, and that paradigm is dying. It's dying. It's dying. You know, do what I say because I said, and all that shit. I had to deal with so much of that shit when I was a little girl that I forever, when I found my voice, came to a point that I will not, that I'll be like, yeah, you can say that stuff. Say it. It sounds stupid. Say it. People can say whatever they want. How are they supporting, they say, by living evidently this way? And then I'll start talking and pointing out how they're living. I'm so tired of people that talk about stuff that have never done stuff. They're boring to me. I love seeing the doers. And I love the supporters of the people that are supporting the support, you know, the support staff. We need you. We need you. Like, I could take care of a lot of things, but man, I could use a little bit of hands-on support staff. I can't even get a fucking ride to the auto mechanic. Everything's in divine time, so I understand it wasn't supposed to happen when it was. So, I have definitely talked for too long, and I gotta. Mom? What would you like for breakfast today? You want French toast with apple topping? Does that sound good? Make some French toast sticks? Yeah? I love you, little lady. Alright, that's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. I do this because it fills my cup. This is my only connection to the outside world, really. I have one friend in Taos. I would love it. I'm going to be 50 in April, so if people want to come out, and if you have anybody ever wants to visit New Mexico, it is a beautiful place. Don't let the entrapment you, and people do. And what does enchantment mean? Enchantment. There's so many different definitions for words because people just make shit up, and it's tools and manipulation and shit like that. But this is according to Oxford dictionaries. Number 1, and people take the first one, right? A feeling of great pleasure, delight, the enchantment of the mountains, right? That's the first destination. Okay, people are like, okay, that New Mexico's land of enchantment. Okay, wait a second. There's a second. Let's take a look at the second definition. The state of being under a spell. Magic. That's what New Mexico's really about. How come people aren't talking about all the witches and sorcery and all the freaking weird shit that happens in the mountains and stuff like that? I mean, people want to know why so many people get disappeared. It's because people are doing weird shit with them. That's why. SNUFF. Movies. Check them out. Look at it. I mean, it's gross what people do. Are they even really people? We don't know. They look like people. They don't act like people. They do weird, creepy stuff. Because they feel like it. Nobody should be going anywhere without letting somebody know. You know? Somebody should have at least one person in this world that cares enough about them that they know where they are. The world is not what we've been told it was, and people need to start acting accordingly. Stop being so gullible, la la la, living in that enchantment. Isn't it gross, Ma? But we were naive, huh? You were naive when you were young, and you had to learn the hard way, huh? You don't go home with dudes that drink too much, right? A lot of women, how many had to freaking learn that lesson? And these dudes are freaking touted in society. They're just good old boys. Good old boys. Not meaning no harm. Just doing whatever they want because their mama told they could. I mean, how much of society is crumbling because you have the freaking mama's boy? You have the boy that freaking mommy always took care of, even all the way up into his adulthood. Always got him out of trouble, bail him out of all of his crap that he did. You know, to be given the best jobs when someone more qualified could be, you know, and then you got a spoiled brat that's in charge. And then he lets all of his brother, you know, his other bros, you know, that covered up for him too, in, and then they perpetuate in the bullshit with bigger budgets. That don't seem fair. Why would good people still be trying to be a good person if that's if the deck is stacked? So the big rituals are coming up. I hope more people turn off their TV and just don't even participate in that. The super bowel. How many people, you know why I think that? Because how many people fucking, their guts are trashed the next day? Like, I wonder if there's stats with, like, plumbers going up because people freaking fill themselves with so much trash because they want to, because they're human and they have free will, and they use it to freaking gorge themselves with food, drink themselves to oblivion, only to get the drunken hungries and gorge themselves with more food, oftentimes to purge themselves, to gorge themselves with more food. Ultimately, I wonder how many wives are going to see their freaking husband shit the bed for the first time. Or they're going to go to bed and be like, oh God, he's going to shit the bed. Because that's what the reality of freaking what people turn into when they overindulge. That's what, because human beings are freaking pigs. They're just really good at covering it all up. You know? I mean, the place it takes people on, or the places that people take themselves with their own free will by making these conscious decisions is hilarious to me. And they just like, oh, and they're like, they're having fun, Ma. They're living that best life. Anyway, I've yammered on long enough. This is what a 4-to-2 ratio. Four little scoops to 2 little scoops of regular coffee to decaffeinated. Hi, Zero. You live in England. That is where my cousin was stationed. He was stationed in England. The last company I worked for was headquartered in Tewkesbury. I remember I said, okay, the guy's from England, and I'm standing there and I'm watching his mouth, and I'm like, okay, say the word. That's how I learned words, by watching. Okay, say the word Tewkesbury, and then I'd have to count his into accent, into Tewkesbury. It's north London, about 2 hours. Thank you, Zero. Good to be seen. I was just gonna head out. I got on way early this morning before Mom started talking, and just went on. I'm just gonna let it go, you know, get my yayas out. It's too cold to go outside and do anything anyway. It's very cold here in northern New Mexico. Well, Jonathan Jones, given the opportunity, it would be nice to one day see you walk towards me with your hand out, saying, hi, Marge. Because I grab your hand and then I give you a big old hug just for hanging out. You know it? That's why I do this. Because I can't find... And people like to come to Taos, like, you know. And, I mean, the jet plane... If I got to listen to the jet planes fly over my head now and get all annoyed with it, I might as well people I care about on it be on them, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to fight against all, you know, this stuff that I disagree with. I learned that from a long time. Don't fight against how you don't want things. Put your energy into making things the way that you want them. Make it better. Don't complain about things, how things are. Find ways to make them better. And I got all kinds of. But see, the people in charge don't like me, because then I break their paradigm. I break their toy. I break their system. I show what people can do with very little when they show what people can do with the grossness of their abundance. And it makes them look bad. I'm here to, hey, I'll take on that role. That'd be cool. See, because that's how frequency happens. You know, we meet people we're supposed to meet. I have story after story after story. I should start retelling these stories. When I am newly sober in Omaha, I met this young girl. She was an SP. She actually got kicked out of the Air Force. She had a great story. She actually got kicked out, and we met at meetings and stuff like that. And one day, and we were having a conversation, and she mentioned something about Paso Robles, and I said, "How do you know about Paso Robles? Only people that have driven through it know about Paso Robles. It's right north of Atascadero. That's where my dad was born, and my brother was born there too. They were born in the same old 19-room hospital, probably a Mason hospital, the Bro Club. I was born in San Bernardino, so I'm really far out. Well, anyway. So, she and I started talking, and she and her family was from around Atascadero. And I talked to my dad, and she talked to her aunt, I believe. And through a couple conversations, we determined that her aunt and my father were in every class together from kindergarten to 6th grade. And I met her in Omaha, south of Omaha, Bellevue, Nebraska. So, like, and I've been a believer of this my whole entire life. I've had a preponderance of evidence that life is frequency, and now other people are starting to recognize that, like me. In age, for I've been. My brother makes fun of me. He's like, "You've always lived from your heart," and I'm like, "Thanks for the endorsement." But he said it in such a condescending way, like, "You're a sucker," like you. And then when I tell him the story of where me, because me following my heart is me being in alignment and congruence with my mind, my heart, and my guts. Those all being, where I'm not freaking, like, in so much fear that it sets me off course to go a place I don't need to be. And that has led me right to Mom's homeland. So I'll take that. He said, "Yeah, you always just believed in people and you get burned." I said, well, now I know who to believe in now, don't I? I'm pretty good. And I know who not to believe in. I believe in people that believe in me. Oh, hey! I was wondering about you. I have been looking for your hashtag. And I thought that you were just taking a break. Because people do that, because timelines shift, and there's so many timelines shifting right now. So it's like time to get rid of. See, that's why I keep my channel and until they take it down, because all somebody has to do is, like, omit words, put in word, plus this, minus that, and then broop, I'm not in compliance. Somebody just has to decide it's any given point when I am or am not in compliance. And so, but I got another channel. It's called Third Eye Activism. I think I'll use that when I start going out because I got to get involved. I know I don't want to. I got to get back involved. And I've been in the service side of AA. Like I remember going to from Omaha up to Columbus, freaking Nebraska, where they had their area meeting. Where that if you want to freaking learn about patience and tolerance, why don't you freaking sit in a room with hundreds of freaking self-important freaking Midwestern recovering alcoholics that don't know who they are and all this stuff and. Listen to all these people with how they should do things, but it serves their purpose and not everybody's. So I got to get back into freaking and I've done videos where I gone to city council meetings and stuff like that. The thing of it is I'm still learning how to keep my tongue because I'm not real good about keeping my tongue. And once I hurt people's feelings, then I get kicked out or, and God forbid, arrested or something like that, by telling a police officer. I told the sheriff a couple weeks ago that he was a disgrace to the uniform because, he just ironed it. And plus he was all overweight and let himself go and stuff like that. And it's like, you get paid to take care of people and you can't take care of yourself. And I find discrepancies in that. And so if I look in your work history, am I going to start seeing the discrepancies of who got arrested because you didn't like them? Because Lord knows, that's what what part of the Great Awakening is now? People waking up to the darkness of what is in humanity. All these firemen that picked and choose who they saved. And all the people that are screaming through the walls and shit like that. And they let them. Because they look different. There's serious karma that is being played out all across the world right now. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, people are tripped out. That's why you gotta degauze, Bex. You gotta degauze. You gotta keep the static out of your field. Keep this. I know you like going for walks. That helps. You do good stuff to keep ground. I understand that. And I would take this time. I would really encourage you. Look at your birth chart. Just go, and then go to one and then go to another. Go down that. Go look at. Start figuring out who you are and seeing why you are who you are. And see how this story unfolds. And then I encourage you to come back with all the knowing. More than you have. That'd be because I think a lot of people are hibernating. They're coming back in that last part of winter, They're and then you emerge. They're becoming the seeds, and they're planting them in the earth, and then in the spring. See, because people are that ideally, theoretically, that's how it's supposed to be. Is that people are supposed to emerge like Marge, right, Ma? Emerge from the winter a better version of who they were going in, or emerge from the winter into the spring a better version of who they were. We're given opportunities even through winter to be the best versions of we are. If you can't chop wood, carry water, and somebody, it's 31 degrees here Fahrenheit, 25, whatever. Then pick up an axe and go chop someone for someone who can't, or go haul someone, because it's important. Because there's a lot of people that need help, man. There's a lot of people out there, and I got to go out today at some point and spread the love. Because that's how I have to give back to the world. It's my calling. It's my purpose. It's just to be the best version that I can be, so I can encourage other people to be the best version of themselves. Because if I can do it, little retarded autistic girl, I had all my essays and, watching Mom with, and just watching the art ugly. I've been looking for the beauty, and I keep trying to connect to it, and I'll connect to it when people start recognizing the beauty within me. Because when I go out in the world, when I look at I used to hate myself when I was a little girl, not because because I hated who I was. It was because other people hated who I was. I liked myself, and I couldn't understand why they hated me. Why my mom and my dad would look at me with that look. Or when I'd touch them, they'd recoil. And then I started figuring out, it's my energy, Yeah, that's more stuff my brother used to. You always believed in the frequency. Dude, well, I do have a Bachelor of Science degree. I do have a Bachelor of Science. I have a scientific background, you know? I mean, you just type real good and freaking know how to bullshit people. That's why you're a lawyer. But I have practical skills. What do I know, you know? But he'd make fun of me because I live from my heart. And I always picture the world one day it's gonna serve me. One way it's gonna help me serve other people, serve themselves. How to listen to their hearts. And less from their ego. Because when people go after money and things, I will never have money in a lot of things. I won't be like the other April 9th people that I share the birthday with. Kristen Stewart, you know, Dennis Quaid, Jenna Jameson, Hugh Hefner. I won't be like them because I'll keep it 49%. So whatever, you know, I'm going to figure out how to do a non-for-profit on my own, and then I'm going to show how other people how they could have done it and didn't. Just by example. That's what I do. Aw, thanks. Thanks, Bex. I appreciate that. Just mind the dip. I worry about you in that respect because she's so high frequency. She receives so much data. She's up here. You ever been electrocuted? That you know of? When you start, this is what I recommend to high frequency people. Get a little dumbbell. Mom has this one. It's like 2 pounds. 2 pounds. 2.5 pounds, okay? 2.5 pounds. And when you start feel like you're getting so flooded with so many thoughts, because sometimes I'll get so flooded that it's like my thoughts are like a deck of cards, and I just have to allow it. Like, I have no control. I'm just like input. I'm just receiving data. I got my little dumbbell, and just start with 20, 25, whatever. You know, start low, right? But remember this. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. You want to keep your body balanced. So that's how I get my yayas out. I got a bad back, so like I have strength from like in my arms, my wings, right? I think Gemini rules the arms, and I got Saturn and Mars both in Gemini. So, but my back is shit. I got degenerative arthritis in my spine, so I can't. It hurt, you know. So I gotta be so careful with my posture, on how I lift the weight, right? But still, that's how I'm going to reemerge a better version of myself. Because instead, you know, because I used to just, I'm going to go eat something to make me feel better. Right? I don't want to encourage people to do that. That's like, people do that. You know, that's like, people are trained when they're kids. If you're good, I'll take you here and we'll get some French fries. No. If you're good, treat yourself like you care about you because you're good. You know, I mean, I get why people say you gotta. It's about you can't love other people unless you take care of yourself. I understand that at a level, you know, at a level that I don't never wanted to. So, it's Sunday, February 4th. I had a grand sponsor. Today is her anniversary. So and she's probably has like 57 years now, 58 years, something like that. I remember I went to like her 45th. Like I was in for almost 15. I went to a lot of stuff. I learned a lot about getting out of myself. You got your dumbbells out yesterday? That is freaking, Ma, that's 2 people in my life. That's 2 people. One other girl, I did a post on my Facebook. You know, I said about, you know, about becoming a better and stuff like that. Kathy, she lives in Idaho. she said that I encouraged her to start lifting her dumbbell again, right? And then Bex just said that she got her dumbbells out. See, I could die right now and mission accomplished. I hope to encourage people every day, like, so whenever I take my last breath, I'm like, okay, I did it. I tried, God. I tried to help as many people with my experience, with my shit life. I tried to turn that into positive to as many people that would receive it, but I couldn't find enough people, Lord. I couldn't find them, God, that were willing to pick up what I was putting down because they were too busy, living that best life for themselves. And they met you quicker because they were, indulgent and gluttonous and all that stuff. They didn't want to do the work, God, and I kept looking for the people that wanted to do the work. I kept showing up, God, letting them know, here, I'm doing the work. And this is how I've done the work, and I've been doing the work since I was a little girl. And I'm trying to find other people that do the work or are willing to do the work because I don't have the energy to put into them, too, to just do what they want me to do. I gotta find people that are willing to do shit back. Because I can't carry the burden. And they can. Everybody can. If everybody carried like a weight of a burden for like 2 years, the world would be so different. Anyway. 57 years. What did I say about that? That could be anything. Anyway, how long? Mom, this is the longest YouTube talk I ever done in my life. Where's the time? 2 hours? Are you kidding me? There go my ego. Nah, just kidding. I kept God in the forefront the whole entire time, huh, Ma? Alright? Now I'm gonna go listen to other people talk. Probably go pick up dog poop. I already cleaned out the litter box this morning. Like, all these people are like, listen, you little minions, you don't get electricity and stuff like that, roof over your head. Well, I'm gonna fly all over here on vacation and do whatever I want. It's insane. So welcome to the wake up, folks. Welcome to the great worldly wake up. It's crazy. It's getting nuttier. Find ways to keep yourself grounded. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I found a cool listing here last night. It just came up and I looked at it and I think it even has like an indoor. It's a cool listing. I'm like, man, but I don't. I'm up here. God puts me and Mom. He pulls us up out of the freaking off the rest of the planet, so we can just kind of chill through life while the rest of the planet goes crazy, and then He drops us back in to co-minglate with whoever we're supposed to, right, Ma? But it's just, there's people got to be proactive in keeping themselves from going crazy. You got to do it, because the more people sit and think about themselves, use that energy, I swear, to do something good for somebody else, and that continues the open circuit of goodness coming back to you. Because you're gonna start see all this self-indulgent where it's gonna start coming back to them because they were just You're greedy too much. You can't live places where everything is like one. Like, that's why I see the floods in San Diego and all these places where these people had these deluxe lives for so long, untouched, and nobody gets to live that. Like, we are all touched by life, you know it. So, anyway, thanks for hanging out. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace. Luna, you want French toast too, girl?